What's up? What's up? What's going on, guys? This is me, I, from Insane Disappearances. I'm coming at you once again with a live video because I want to do a Q&A with you guys about what I talked about on my channel tonight. If you have any questions about the Anunnaki, if you have any questions about anything that I spoke of, towards the end, feel free to ask me any questions that you want to ask, and I will answer them to the best of my abilities with the help of Gabriel, of course. So, if anybody out there wants to know anything, like I said, you know what to do. So, let's get started. But yeah, like I said before in the video, that he wants the truth, the real truth, to come out. And by me having my own YouTube channel and the success that it's had over the past, I'd say the past year or two, because I started this about 2 years ago, and it has risen to some very good heights that I'm very proud of, and I thank all of my fans, all you guys, for that. So that's why I wanted to reward you guys with what I have been actually experiencing for I'd say half the year. Okay, now you probably wonder how all this started. I mean, I could tell you that, but that might not be the one thing for me to talk about just yet. I've already told you that I meditate a lot, but I meditate in a way that I'm not just meditating to calm myself down or for stress. I'm meditating because I want the answers. I want to connect myself with the cosmos to learn what has never been learned by us. Okay? Truth about everything, what's going on. Because once I just kind of got it that something ain't right here, that this reality doesn't make any sense because of all the stuff that I've been seeing, just like the fascination that I have with 3, 6, and 9. I mean, this all came from Nikola Tesla anyway. He said it himself because he's already experienced it. We're talking about a man that will walk around his apartment 3 times before he goes inside. Okay? And then you saw my coffee table. It had 3, 6, and 9 woven into the design of the table. Now, where do you see that at? People don't realize. They just look at it as designs, and all of a sudden, bang, you wake up, and you be like, what the heck? And let's just say you already heard about 3, 6, and 9, and all of a sudden you look down, and there it is. Hold on a second, guys. My friend is here. Yep, doing a live video. Yeah, so.
Sorry about the day. Your mom was sick. I had to take care of her.
Don't worry about it. My mom had took me to Golden Corral anyway, so I was good. But anyway, guys, like I said, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. And if one of them came through, I'm sorry, but I had to answer the door, so my eyes wasn't on the screen. So whoever else has any questions, feel free to ask. Okay, so I will try to entertain you guys with some more information, or just do a recap of what we talked about. Like I told you before, with the Anunnaki. Everything that you may know about them is a complete lie, okay? So, all I can tell you is they had nothing to do with this gene splicing that they talked about. They had nothing to do with, well, I won't say not nothing to do, but they're not aliens. They come from different levels of this earth. Now, I'm not talking about you can dig down to a certain spot and then there they are. There's levels, meaning dimensions. All that stuff is the same. Okay? And it's not like you can just walk up to a door, open the door up, and bam, there they are. It's not that simple. And like dimensional travelers. Okay, here we go. Let me see. It's just me on right now. I haven't seen the other night, but just make sure you're right. Okay, right. Okay, well, I'm glad you're here. So I hope you enjoy my videos. You're definitely gonna enjoy this one and the one I posted earlier. So, but yeah, I hope everybody, more people come through so we can kind of go over what I said, because my video, I just posted it, so people are just really now looking at it. So those who already seen it, if you're want to know more about it, then feel free to ask. Okay. By the way, there's a lot of crackling going on. Reboot, maybe. Well, okay. What that probably is the noise in the background. Cause a friend of mine just came over and he was putting some stuff down, so that could be what's interfering with the sound. And then see, I'm doing this from my phone, so it probably was sounding like that, or maybe it's because I had my hand near the speakers, so I need to keep my hands up away from it. So that I think that might have been what it was. The sound of my hands was interfering with the speakers or the noise. So I apologize for that. That's why I'm gonna keep my hands towards the top. Okay, it's your magnetic personality. Yep, that may be it. And maybe you're right. You know, I have been told that quite a few times, you know. And it could be also my energy that's flowing through my body, and it might be interfering with the frequency coming from the phone itself. Maybe. I don't know. But like I told you before, there are frequencies out there that we don't know anything about. Oh, yes, and it could be Gabriel too. That might be what's interfering with the noise. And greetings to you too, my friend. I am Vessel. But yeah, that could be what it is, because I can channel Gabriel and Peter. So that could be what it is. His energy is mixed with mine, causing an interference in the sound. So I apologize for that, but we're all doing this for a reason, okay? That's why I'm here to answer any questions that may come about what I talked about earlier on my videos. Now, the ones that probably just now seeing it, once you watch it and you get towards the end, come through. You say, yep, I don't necessarily disagree. Okay, that's good. That's good. That means you're waking up. That's what I want. I want people to understand that this is the real truth coming from the horse's mouth. Okay? He interrupts our phone conversations a lot. Yeah, he does interrupt our phone conversations a lot. You know, when I talk to my friend, it's like, you know, you could be on the phone. Hey, what's going on, bro? Chuck Warren. Hey, glad you're here, man. Glad you're here. I hope you're gonna enjoy the video that I posted and what's going on right now. But yeah, we could be on the phone talking, and I actually heard his voice over the phone. I only heard 2 syllables because, you know, when you hear voices like that, like say if you got a ghost in the house and they have a recording of it, it sounds like they're so far away or they're whispering. So when he came through over the phone, I heard only 2 syllables. I couldn't make out what he was saying, so that kind of interrupted. And then there's a lot of times where you hear static over the phone. One time, it was a huge jolt of static that she heard on her end, but I didn't hear it. And then the same thing happened to me the next time we talked. And I was like, wow, okay. And then there's the part about hearing a voice say, "Hoo-ah!" in the middle of us talking. It's weird. And then sometimes I would hear another voice repeating exactly what I say. It wasn't mine. I know I hear my voice all the time when I'm talking on my channel, and I replay it and just kind of see how well I did. But this voice that I heard was not mine. It repeated everything I said, but it wasn't me. You know, yeah, that is definitely crazy. So, but yeah, like I said, when it comes to, sorry about that. When it comes to stuff about the Anunnaki, Gabriel, Peter, and what they really are. Now, like I told you before about guardian angels do have more than one charge. It's one, most people will say it's one guardian angel per human on this planet. But they do have one that actually looks after more than one. Okay, so there's still a lot of them out there. But some of them do handle more than one task for more than one person. Okay? And I can tell you right now, Gabriel has told me about how he's able to do what he does. Like I told you before, he is able to be everywhere and nowhere all at once. And the same thing with Peter. It's like casting copies of himself with his consciousness, his personality, in every single one of them so they can go out there and do what they do. Okay? So he could be here, but he's helping me with something here. Okay? So that's an amazing gift he's got right there. He can do stuff like that. You know? And his energy, like I said, is incredible. Whoever... Okay, here's one way to tell. like I said before, if your body starts to tingle for whatever reason, it could be because you actually walked through your guardian angel. Or maybe your back from the head down to your feet is tingling for whatever reason. It could be because they're standing right in behind you, guarding you, making sure that nothing happens. Okay? I've actually seen Peter behind me while I'm at work. No matter where you are, they will be there. But also, this is one thing that Peter and Gabriel told me. You do not have to know that I'm there for me to be there. You don't have to feel me for me to be there. Okay? Sometimes they do things in silence. You don't feel them at all. But they are there. You don't have to see them to know that they're there either. They have told me that many a time, and I believe it because he's here with me right now, and he's very tall at this point. He's actually reaching the ceiling. I know that sounds a little to you, but trust me, if I'm talking about it, it's true. I can guarantee you that. Like I said, I have had a lot of experiences in those areas. So, but yeah, he's like right there, and he's helping me through this. And he's very proud of the fact that I'm helping him get the truth out there. So, what else can I say? Well, for one, like I said, when they came here, they wanted to experience everything that we experienced as far as a mate. They wanted to experience being a part of a family and all that stuff. But I'm going to share something with you. He also told me that the truth can sometimes be hidden right in front of your face, and you wouldn't even know it. It could be a TV show that you're watching. It could be a cartoon. It could be a commercial. It could be a movie in Hollywood. And that is so true because the movie Hancock and City of Angels reminded me a lot of the things that I heard about with Gabriel. Now, the part about when I said that they wanted to have a mate in the movie, what's her name? The woman that played the wife of Kevin Bacon, Charlize Theron. She said that they were built in twos, and they wanted to experience love and affection, but they said when they got near their opposites, they become human and all that stuff. But it was just the fact that they wanted to experience that stuff, mate and all that. And then, he was also saying stuff like they had been called many names, like angels, gods, the devil, superheroes. Now Gabriel has said the same thing, that they have been called many things. It's the same thing with the Anunnaki. They have been called many things, okay, throughout time or throughout moments in history. I don't like using the word time because time isn't real. So when he said that about how the truth can be hidden right in front of you and you wouldn't even know it, when I heard about that movie and I thought about it, I was like, wait a minute, that's the same exact thing he said, okay? And I'm like, wow, And then I be looking at the movie. I was looking at the movie City of Angels with Nicolas Cage and Meg Ryan. The fact that you have the angels was everywhere. I'm talking about on scaffolds, on top of buildings, looking down at things, just watching over stuff. They standing on top of skyscrapers. They were everywhere, and that's how it is here. They are always around. When I'm driving to work, I can actually see a guardian angel standing outside on the sidewalk with their wings in full bloom. Okay, not flapping, but just out. Okay, so the fact that I can see them just around, just all over the place. They are there for a reason. They're there to protect the people. They're there to look after. Okay. Now, oh, okay, that was a message I got from somebody. But anyway, I'm sorry. But yeah, so all these things that you hear about in the movies, if you really pay attention, after hearing what I have said to you, and all of a sudden it clicks that you saw something quite similar to what I may have been talking about in a movie that you may have watched. Okay? Just like the other night when I was talking about 369 and Nikola Tesla and how I found all those numbers within my home. Now, I'm gonna show you something. You see that? This is my fireplace, and I showed you these bricks on that video about Nikola Tesla. There is a total of 30 of these, what do you call them? Tiles. Right here, I counted them, 30. So that's another 3. And you got 6 going across. And then, just the fact that there's 3 and 6 within this here. It's everywhere. And we didn't even realize it until I said something. So you look around, oh snap, I see it. Like today, I saw 3 cop cars, behind each other, all the same color. And then look, I'm wearing red, which is a definite representation of the number 23. Okay, and I see 23 all the time. I saw 23 on a piece of paper written in red, in a red circle. And yet, they always say that 23 is accompanied by the color red. Just like in the movie, the number 23 with Jim Carrey. If you ever seen it, you gotta watch it. It's a crazy movie, but it makes a lot of sense. So, I'm just saying. But yeah, I know it's early because I just posted this video. I probably should have waited until it actually uploaded where everybody could see it. Maybe waited about an hour so everybody can look at it, and then at the end they hear me say that I'm going to do a live show. So I may have done this a little early, but it doesn't take that long for them to watch it. And when they do and they realize I'm going to do a live show, they come on and bam. Because last night I did it for a whole hour. So I'll be up here for as long as I can for the ones that got a question. Okay, so like I said, whoever has already been up here, the 3 people that's watching right now, if you got a question about the Anunnaki, if you got a question about Gabriel, if you got a question about anything else, feel free to ask, and I'll, try to answer it as best as I can. Or if you got any questions about guardian angels, or how you can get in touch with your guardian angel, okay? But I'll say that right now. And if you ask the question again, I'll repeat it just for you. But all you have to do, now, most people will say, you gotta, talk to God in order for you to talk to your guardian angel. You don't have to do that. You don't have to talk to the Creator. You can talk straight to your guardian angel. It will work. I guarantee it. Sorry about that. I have my finger in front of the camera. But anyway, that's all you have to do. All you gotta do is talk to him in your mind, or her in your mind. And then just say you would love to see him or her, and what is your name? I never actually asked Peter, what was his name. He actually told me. I heard a voice in my head said Peter real loud, and it was his voice. Because I said before that mental telepathy is the universal language. Okay, you don't need phones or, the text or talk on. You don't need letters. This is the ultimate way of communication. You talking with your mind. And I speak to him all the time through my mind. I channel Gabriel and Peter, through my consciousness, and they help me out with a lot of things. Okay, so the one thing you got to realize is that what you think you can't do, we have always been able to do. We just didn't know it because we've been cut off from that ability for thousands of years. There's a lot of things that we can do that most people will probably think that only God can do. Because they'll say stuff like, only God can have that power, just like with psychics and stuff like that. Now, I can tell you right now, Gabriel has said that, like, I asked him a certain question, he said that they don't have the power to create matter. Like those movies or cartoons where people create matter out of nowhere, like a giant screw or another female from scratch. We don't have that ability. Gabriel and the rest of them don't have that ability. The only one that has that ability is the Creator. He's the only one that can create life or matter. That's what he does. That's his power. So, if that question was to ever come up, that would be the answer. Because I talked about something, and that's what he said. I think I was talking about having mental powers where you can create matter out of nowhere. But he said they don't have that power, so humans can't do that. We can't do that. The only one that can do that is the Creator. Okay? And then there's also the fact that, well, I mean, I know I said this before, that they're always around. They can be right next to you, but if they're not, they're off somewhere, taking care of business somewhere else. But they can be there within a snap just to make sure that you're all right. Like I said, he can be everywhere and nowhere all at once. And I know that's kind of begging your brains. How can something like that's impossible? How can something like that happen? First of all, he's not here. He's somewhere else, not like on this plane. Okay, so he can operate from there by making other copies of himself with his consciousness. They will be just as knowledgeable as he is. It's like just splitting him up, and he's splitting him up thousands of times, and just making sure they're everywhere all at one time. But he can operate and do what they got to do all at one time. They may be doing different tasks, but they can still operate physically like that all at once. So, yeah. But, yeah. Let me see. What else did I talk about? I know I talked about the Anunnaki. I talked about all the other stuff about the Anunnaki and let's get back on the subject about what you may think of as demons. Okay? Now, I'm going to be honest with you. A couple of nights ago, last week, maybe 2 weeks ago, I'm not completely sure. But I'm going to show you this right here. Right there. In that corner, right here, this corner. A gray was peeking out from behind that wall. Impossible to believe, but yes, it was. But it was transparent. So it wasn't solid. Okay? But it was standing right there peeking out from behind the wall. I could see those almond-shaped eyes and the gray skin and the oval-shaped, well, not oval-shaped, but the teardrop-shaped head and his thin body. It actually came out from behind the wall. And I told him, I said, look, I can see you, so you don't have to hide. So he comes out, and he looked like a stick figure. It was just that thin. Now, I have been told that most of them are bioengineered. They're not. Some of them aren't, alien aliens or what they call them or whatever. They have different kinds. They have all different kinds of species. But it was there. Right there. And then it disappeared when it realized that I could see it. Because it was cloaking itself. But I see now that I can see through the cloak. Because I remember I told you this a couple nights ago on one of my videos that I was outside and above my house was a UFO about as big as a football field. And it was a disc. But it was trying to hide itself with whatever it was cloaking itself with. But I could see through it. I could see the shape of it and everything. Maybe I'm supposed to see it. I don't know. But I know I saw it. It was the most craziest moment I've ever experienced because I've seen UFOs before, but never that close. And the ones that I did see close, I couldn't see the shape of it. All I saw was two lights blinking in a certain sequence. But looking at the sky and looking at how they look during the day it's a metallic disc. So the light from the giver of life was reflecting off of it to where you can see it. Now, I'm guessing the same thing happens at night. If it's a metallic disc and it has a reflective surface, what's going to happen is, even though there's no sunlight, the night sky is reflecting off of it. So that's the reason why you can't see it at night. Now, if it was glowing, that's one thing. But you normally just see the light and the radiation that is actually emanating off of it because it came through the magnetic field. It charges up the radiation. And it has a natural reaction where it starts to make something glow. So that is what you see up there as far as the UFO goes. I'll get into other parts of it that you probably would never believe, but that's for another show. I don't know how long, but I'm doing this in stages. He wants me to do this in stages. The truth has to get out there, but he tells me what he feels you people are ready to hear. Okay? So, that is why I am here today with the video I posted and this live video that I am doing right now. Okay? Now, we can get into UFOs, we can get into stuff about Gabriel or the Anunnaki. It doesn't matter. That's what I'm here to talk about. And he is giving me the answers that you need to hear. But he wants to make sure I'm saying it with the right words so that you can understand it. Because, see, Gabriel, he talks on a different level than us. Where he resides, time doesn't exist. They have cycles. They live by cycles. So his interpretation and perspective on time and what we think of as time is completely different. Okay? So he doesn't use the word time. He uses the word cycle or moment. Like, say, how we always say, we'll be there in enough time. He'll say something like, when the right moment arrives, we will be there. We will be there when we're supposed to be there. Or what will happen to you will happen in the moment that it's supposed to happen. He uses other words other than the word time because he knows time is not real. It's an illusion. It's just a word. So let's just say, like I said, you are trying to go somewhere. You looking at the clock and you start to figure out how long would it take you to get from point A to point B. If you just live in the moment and let the moment carry you, it will take you to your destination regardless. Moments and what happens in your life as far as your destiny or whatever, all that stuff is still going to happen. You don't need time to know that. You don't need time to make it happen. All you have to do is let the moment flow. You get what I'm saying? Time does not have to control the way and how you get to where you're trying to go. Let the moment flow. Forget about time. Just like I told you before, I was at work and could have sworn that I was in that break room for 20 minutes, but it was only 10 minutes because I was not thinking about time at all. I didn't look at my clock on my phone. I didn't look at the clock on the wall. I didn't do none of that. I just didn't think about it, and I just let the moment flow. Because Gabriel has also told me, things exist because we allow it to. If we don't allow it to exist, it will not exist. It will basically erase itself. Time alone will not be existent in our life and in our moments. It doesn't take time to make moments happen. If you have a destiny, that destiny is going to happen with whether you look at a clock or not. You just don't worry about when it's going to happen. That's what the whole moment thing is about. If you don't worry about what time is going to happen, when it's going to happen, what year it's going to happen, you just let it happen. The easiest way for something to work for you is for you to let it happen the way it's supposed to happen. But it doesn't say that you need a clock or a watch or time itself to know when it's supposed to happen. It's still going to happen. See, that's the thing that people don't realize. Time is not going to tell you when something's going to happen. It's going to happen anyway. People just don't know that because they've been wired to believe the other stuff. But moments happen regardless of time. Okay? That's why I wanted to do this, because I wanted to get deep with you guys. I know I talk a lot about people who disappear in national parks, but there's so much more going on out there which would correlate with the people that disappear. And the thing that correlates with that is reality. True reality. All these things that have happened, all the things we hear about, like portals, wormholes, different dimensions, parallel earths, all that stuff is reality, but it just depends on who is telling you this information. If you listen to Hollywood and you think about how the technology was used to create wormholes on sliders, That's the wrong way to look at it because a remote control does not control wormholes. Okay, what controls wormholes? I don't know. But there are beings that do have the ability to open them up mentally. Dimensional travelers. I don't know if like because I've heard of there was a story I heard about where I think it was on a military ship and they saw this UFO come down from this swirling light. It looked like a propeller and it was like a portal that opened up and a UFO came out of it right above the water and it took off. But that don't mean that they had the technology as far as what was in that craft to open up one. It wasn't the craft that did it, it was them. I even heard that the crafts that you think that they are traveling in are not occupied by them. They are operating them from an external destination. Okay. Did his mate always know about him? Yes, she did. She always knew about him. It's just the fact that they had been separated from each other for a long period of time. There were times when she actually knew that she didn't know that he existed, but things were happening to her to get her to realize that he was always there. There was situations that she's been through. He was always there. In dreams, he was there. In other situations, like say if she had a UFO experience or whatever the case may be, he was there. He was always there. So she knew about him. But it wasn't until she had an experience where he connected with her that she knew that he was definitely real. Now, I could get into that. I could. I could. I just say that he came to her through a portal in her living room. And he became a part of her. He entered into her. He was like this ball of energy. And he entered into her. Now, I mentioned this before, how they became a part of them. And that's how he became a part of her. He entered into her, and she said she felt a shift. So she knew this was happening. And then his consciousness was connected with hers, so she can channel him. Okay? Now, with that being said, we're talking about two people that were meant to be together, who were together before but were separated because they had to leave. So now that they were coming back, he wanted to reconnect with her and join with her here and here. And that's what happened the first time. He entered into her stomach. And they became a part of each other. Partially. But for them to become complete, he has to come here in his human form so that they can be together physically. Yes, my friends, I said physically. She is his mate. Therefore, he is her husband. But he's just not here in his human form. Makes your brain, doesn't it? I know, but it is all true. I can guarantee you that. You want to see the thing is, when we hear stuff like that, in our minds, we can't even try to believe it because it just doesn't sound like it's possible. Everything is possible, people. Gabriel has told me this. Everything is possible. Everything that you think isn't impossible is. Please tell the higher powers to stop whatever CERN is doing. Well, Chuck, if I could, I would. The most I can do is tell them not to do it right here on this channel. And hopefully they'll see it. Especially if they know they're messing with power that they have no idea what it's about. They think they know, but they really don't know. Because think about it. We don't have the technology or the mindset to understand these energies because they operate on their own. Energy has its own personality. Did you know that? Like these orbs, these reddish orange orbs that you see in the sky, they have a personality. Energy alone has a personality. Far-fetched, I understand if that's what you're thinking, but it's true. Energy, because, okay, for example, the crop circles. Remember that video that came out probably like late 2000 of this ball of light that was moving across a field, and all of a sudden you look down and these crop circles just formed out of nowhere. It was that energy that did it. The energy was an actual being of intelligence. They do have their own intelligence, and they are their own species of energy. Okay, most people will look at energy as just electricity or wind, or like air coming from your air conditioner in your home. But energy does have a signature of intelligence. Okay, how do you think that it could have done it? Some people may think that it was probably some type of demon or some type of alien that is not the type of alien that we would think it would be. It could just be this ball of energy that is an actual alien, and it created these crop circles for whatever reason. But it was an intelligent energy. Okay? Things that we would normally think is not real or don't exist actually is real and does exist. Just like werewolves. I bet you thought since that movie that came out in the 1930s about that werewolf that had the hairy face and all that stuff, and it was set in London. Sun needs to be destroyed, period. Yeah, but I don't have that kind of power, my friend. I wish I did, but I don't. And I doubt that will happen anytime soon. And if it does, it'll be because the truth is getting out. Therefore, it will die out sooner or later. That much I believe. But yeah, when it came to that movie about the werewolf, if you looked at my intros from my previous videos, there is a picture of this upright walking creature, light brown fur, a long tail, with hind legs like a dog that's walking in the street, and even has a snout. Now this is coming from a CCTV camera. Okay, it took a picture of it walking down the street. Now most people would probably say, "Oh, that's just CGI. That ain't real." How do you know that? How do we know that we actually have a president? We only see him on camera when he's going from one country to another. That's probably just staged so that we can think that he's actually doing what he's supposed to do. But think about it. What has the president done? Every time they say they're going to do something, they don't ever do it because they own bosses won't let them do it. Just like if they try to disclose aliens. What happened? You get a bullet in the back of your head, just like President Kennedy, because he said that's what he was going to do, and look what happened to him. But anyway, I'm getting off the subject. This ain't got nothing to do with what I'm talking about. But it matches. It's about what the subject was, about what is real. Okay? I don't know if that's real. It could just be for TV only. But just like with that photo, how do we know that it ain't real? Just because you think it ain't real because there is a such thing as CGI? Okay, I understand that. And I understand how people can doctor videos or doctor, photos. But at some point, one of those pictures is going to be real. One of those videos are going to be real. Just like the videos with the lady that I interviewed. Her videos are real. People just tend to not believe it because they don't want to believe it. They're asking a question to get an answer they're not ready to hear. That's the reason why they act like that. So when a person sees a photo of a werewolf walking down the street, they go, "Oh, that ain't real. That's just CGI." Or they doctored that photo. It's probably a man walking around in a dog suit. Let me see. Any more info on the anonymous lady and the Brown Mountain experiences? Oh, well, she's doing fine. She's living her life. She's, working her job and everything. She still wants to stay anonymous at this point because, she got family, and her friend who was with her that day has a family as well. He wanted to do an interview, but he hasn't said when because, he was still being, hounded by the Park Service and all that stuff. And like I said, he's got kids and a wife, so he doesn't want to put them in any kind of danger because he knows what those kind of people are capable of when they want to keep something secret. And I hope and pray that won't happen, but they're protected. Gabriel has told me that they are protected, especially the woman that I interviewed. She's definitely protected, and I can tell you some more things about her, which has a lot to do with what I be talking about on my channel. Okay, did that photo he had taken ever get posted? Who exactly are you talking about? The photo. Exactly. What photo are we talking about here? Again, I want to make sure I understand so I can give you an answer. Where are her footprints? This is you know what? He said he does have that photo. I need to get in touch with her again to find, because I think he said that he was gonna send it to me, but he was still a little leery at the time. It was because this stuff had just happened, and he was getting all those calls from the Park Service and everything. So he probably just didn't want to let anything out about it. But here's what I'm gonna talk to. I will text her. I'll text her tonight to see if I can still get those photos. And when I do, I will transfer it over to one of my videos or that video, and you just have to go to the description box and look for it. Very good question. I will get right on it right after this video is over. Okay, that's a promise. You know, I've never let you guys down before, and I don't plan to now or any other time. So yeah, I will make sure I get that done. And sorry about that. I hope my hand isn't messing up the sound. But yeah, I'm gonna make sure I get that done. Just to see if he still wants to send me the photos, because he does have the photos of it and how they just disappeared. That would be an excellent photo to see. Trust me, I know. I still want to see it. So yeah, I'll make sure I get that done. But yeah, so get back to what I was saying before about all that. That photo is real. I truly believe it. Okay, my prayers for her and you during these holidays. Thank you. Hey. You're welcome, and I hope you have a very happy holiday as well. But yeah, so trust me, that photo is real. Even though it may not seem like it because of all these doctor photos that be on YouTube or the internet and all that stuff. You know, I understand it because I've seen a lot of them. But that is a definite, genuine photo. It looks too real for it to be fake or even to be doctored, because there's only so much you can do with a doctor photo because of the technology that we have. Okay, so yeah. But yeah, like I said, when it comes to UFOs and all that stuff, you gotta know what you're looking for. Okay, you really do. Because people tend to say, oh, it was just an airplane, it was a helicopter, blah, 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 blah. But you're not looking at the full picture. Some may already know this, but they just never really thought about it. If you're looking at something in the sky that may look like a UFO, open up all of your senses. That means eyes and ears. Okay? Listen out for the sound of a propeller. If you don't hear it, it's not a helicopter. Listen out for the sound of the engines from that plane coming up from behind it as it passes over your head. If you don't hear that at all, it's a UFO. Okay? So I hope that you guys listen to that. So the next time you look up in the sky and you see something remotely similar to what I just described or mentioned, you know what to do. Okay? Take that and go with it. Put it up here. Okay? Put it up here. Keep it there until you see something. It may take a while because sometimes I don't see UFOs all the time. Sometimes I don't see them for like months at a time. You know, and then if I'm just looking up at the sky at the right moment, I just happen to see one. Just like that time I told you I was driving down the street going to work, I think. And I just happened to look up. It was a full moon. It was like partly cloudy. I saw a disc flying sideways in between the moon and that cloud. And it just shot off and disappeared in the night sky. But I looked at it long enough. Sometimes all you need is a second to see what you need to see. And I saw a round disc on its side shooting across the sky, not making one sound. It was almost like it wasn't even there, but yet I saw it. It was crazy. You know, so like I said, you just got to keep your eyes in the sky. And I am a huge UFO nut. I really am, because I've seen them ever since I was a kid, so they got me intrigued. So when I started seeing other videos of these UFOs, here we go. Okay, what is Gabriel's and Peter's personality like? Okay. I want to talk about Gabriel first. Gabriel's personality is like, he has like a teacher-like personality. Okay? He can be funny sometimes too. I'm telling you, he had me cracking up one night. I was like, what? I could not believe it. But he has a teacher like personality, like because when he's training me for something or giving me information, he gives off this energy of being a teacher. And when he talks to you in a very bold, booming voice. And I mean, it's like you got like a tuning fork in your head sometimes. So when he speaks, it's vibrating in your head. It's really, really strong. Okay, but he has that teacher-like personality. But I'm gonna tell you a situation that happened the other night. It was he literally had me laughing my head off almost. When I started to channel him, he wanted me to send a message to his mate. He wanted me to give her some information. But before I could send it, he said, "Tell her I said that." He was all excited because he was away from her, yet near her. That's that if you don't understand it, don't worry about it. But he was here helping me out, okay? And when he said it like that, I was like, "Well, calm down. I'm gonna tell her." So I sent her the message, but it was just the fact that he was so excited, and he was like, "Tell her I said that." I was like, okay." So it was really funny. And he's actually cracked a couple of jokes. Like one time he said, I was talking to her about something, and I was challenging him to talk to her. Because he wanted her to realize that he is real. Because, he speaks to us through mental telepathy. So, sometimes you get that human reaction. You're like, okay, is this really happening? Am I hearing this man in my head? Are we actually having a conversation? So, with that being said, he challenged me to talk to her. He challenged me to talk to her. And basically, it was proof and validation that he is real so that she won't have to keep thinking like that. This is his mate, the woman that he married. Yes, I said married. But that's a whole nother story, so don't worry about it. I'll tell you this later. If he wants me to tell you, I'll tell you. But, he has a person. Now, Peter, his personality is way different. He also has a teacher-like personality, but he is very direct with the things that he tells me. He's one of those short, sweet, and to the point kind of guys. He tells you what you need to hear without the extra information. He'll just say, like, let's just say he wanted you to go to the store and pick up a bottle of water. He'll just say, go get a bottle of water. Or go to the store and get me something to drink. But he'll let you know what it is, but he'll tell you in a way where it's just short and sweet and to the point. He don't drag it out with other information but that's just how he is. Now, he is more serious than funny or whatever. I never really heard him crack a joke. I just know that Peter is a kind of guardian angel who gets to the point. He tells you what you need to hear. He don't tell you extra information and then tell you what he really wants you to hear. That's just how he is. So I come to respect both of them. Because he can be serious. He can be a little, I won't say mean, but he has, everybody has a temper. Even they do. But that's only if something is not right. And that's when they get serious. And they take care of the problem. Because I can tell you right now, perfect example, I was outside enjoying nature. It was at night. I heard a noise. And I didn't know what it was. It sounded weird, something I never heard before, but it sounded like it was coming towards me. And all he said was, go inside. And right as I'm doing that, I could hear grunts, like somebody was fighting or something like that. And I was like, okay. That was crazy, but he was protecting me. That's what he was there to do, protect me, to make sure nothing was to happen to me. Okay, so there's that side where they get serious, and he's doing his job as a guardian, but never at any time have I really heard him crack a joke. I don't think. Can you explain the whole marriage thing? How does that work? Okay, now, because he is a being of energy, and by her being a human, he's not completely solid yet. He is going to come here to join her in his human form, and he will be solid like you and me and everyone else on this planet. Now, as far as I did tell you before that she was his mate, so that means they are married. Okay, I know y'all wanted to know about that. Why would I say married? How is that possible? It's no different. It's just done differently. The same things apply. It's just the way they were married was completely different. She didn't even know that they was already married. But I think it's like some kind of a process that he go through, like a ceremony, that even though she didn't know that it was going on, it was between him and his brothers and sisters and cousins. Okay. He, I don't think he actually told me how it was, but there is a celebration that they go through when one of them is to wed their mate. But she technically, in a physical way, wasn't a part of it because it was just between them. And then when they were married, they had a little celebration. A lot of stuff was going on inside of the house, and she didn't even realize it. Okay, and they were there having a celebration. They was around her, just protecting her. Just by if he wasn't there, which he wasn't, physically. So they were actually having a party in her house. That was the funny part. But because they weren't or aren't solid, and you can see them through your mind. And you can talk to them in your mind, but physically they weren't there. So because of that, physically he had to have the celebration with his own kind. If you get what I'm saying, his family and his cousins, his mother, all that stuff, they had the celebration their way because they weren't physically there. It's not like you inviting a whole bunch of people and she's getting married to her husband and he's not physically standing there. That's not what I'm talking about. The celebration was done where he resides. So that's how that works. So by them already being married at that point, there it is. But see, the thing is, they were meant to be together. They were separated. So it was almost like they were already betrothed, but they weren't. They had to still have the ceremony. And when he is finally physically here, they will have a earth-like ceremony where all her friends and family will be there. I will be there, and they will actually have a human version of the ceremony. Okay, and then everybody will meet. I'll get a chance to shake his hand for the first time ever, and that will be pretty cool. But that's jumping ahead a little bit too far. But anyway, that is how that process works. Because he wasn't physically there, he had to do it in a way that it could still happen, but he couldn't do it with her. So when it actually went down, and I think she heard a voice tell her something, she didn't know what that meant. So I told her, oh, you're already married. You just didn't realize you weren't a part of it. That's only because they weren't physically there. So I hope that explains, the whole marriage part with the mating and all that stuff. So yeah, that's how that works. Okay. Any more questions, my friends? What do you got for me? I will make sure Gabriel helps me get the right words out there. Anyway, but yeah, so yeah, the whole UFO shtick is very complicated because people look at it in a way that they only understand because of what they've either heard or seen. That's how they get their knowledge. But I can tell you right now, my friends, the whole UFO thing is quite far from what you thought of as the truth. Because you have to understand that they're not coming from another planet per se, like say all the way that they driving down the street, they they turn down like Saturn way and come up behind Pluto Drive, and here we are at the Earth. No, they have that ability to travel dimensionally. Okay, and they use this in order to make that happen. They're not even in those crafts. They are remote controlled by this from another destination. Now, like I said before, when they are coming through, they look transparent. Okay, just because they're in between dimensions, but they can physically keep themselves hidden like that. They have the ability to make themselves either tangible or solid, and they can do an in-between thing. Like I said, they can be here, but in between dimensions, which is why they look, transparent to you. So when you start saying, "Oh my God, he's a demon," or they think aliens are demons, they're not demons. They're just another species of being that have the ability to travel dimensionally. Okay? So that's how that works. Now, other things that I can talk about would be what you look at as let's see, what's a good way to put this? What's a good way to put this? Oh well, I can talk about energy and us. All this here, the glasses, depending on what it's made of, us, all the way down to the tiniest little atom that makes up our genetic makeup. It is all energy. This carpet is energy. My coffee table is energy. The components inside of that TV is energy. Not so much the TV itself, because plastic is not made from the earth. Rubber is, because it comes from a tree. So therefore it is a part of nature. Therefore it is energy. My sofa is energy. My kitchen table is energy. Everything that makes up this house is made from the earth. So therefore it is energy. Now, if you go outside, same thing. When you step outside, what do you feel? You feel the air around you. But that air is also the atmosphere. And the atmosphere stretches from the very tip top of our earth all the way down to the ground. So we are walking through it. That is energy. It may not seem like it because there's nothing there, as far as our eyes can tell. But it is energy, so it's flowing. It's there. It's all around us. Okay? And by it being us as well, we are connected to the energy. We are also connected to one single energy, which would be the creator. Okay? We are just extensions of that energy. And energy also has an individual personality. Most people don't know that, but it does. Okay? The energy is there for a reason. It has a purpose, a goal. Like, say, a piece of paper. A piece of paper is also energy because it comes from wood, which comes from a tree, which comes from the earth. Now, its sole purpose is to be used to help us, let alone folded, carried somewhere, put inside a machine, ripped, balled up. That is its purpose. That is what the energy is there and made to do. Now, if we become a part of that energy, which is our energy connecting with this energy, energy can't not react or move without another type of energy to move it. Okay? It takes energy to move energy. And it takes energy for us to move our bodies. Like an electric pulse that my brain sends to my arm for it to move. That's energy. Okay? So that makes our entire genetic makeup energy. We are energy. We just have an individuality. where we can be separate yet connected all at the same time. Okay? Now, you may be looking at me from way over there. I'm way over here. But you and I, my friend, or my friends, are connected in some way. We don't know that because our individuality started from the time we were born up until now. So, in between all that, we separate ourselves from you because we lived out our lives separately. And we connected with other energy by creating offspring and meeting other energy to create that offspring. All that stuff is a connection of energy. We use energy to create life. And we use energy for that life to be birthed, All this stuff is connected. It may not seem like it because we are all separate from each other, but it doesn't mean that we are not a part of one single energy. So, energy, my friends, is the cornerstone of what we know of as life. It takes energy for life to thrive. We are energy. Everything about this planet is energy. The sun, the giver of life is energy. That energy, like I said, it takes energy for energy to move. And it takes energy from the giver of life for everything here to process the way it does, for us to move about our day and do the things that we do. If it wasn't for that, we wouldn't be doing it right now. We'd probably be frozen to death. Therefore, the energy stops. When that energy is not moving, this energy, it just sits there. So, I really do hope that everything I talked about tonight helped you guys out. And I apologize if I started the video right after I uploaded it to my channel, because I know you guys had to have a chance to watch it. Therefore, you would have been a part of the Q&A. I probably should have waited maybe at least an hour, until everybody got a chance to watch it, and then they would have been waiting for me to do it, and then it would have came on. I would have had more, subscribers come through and ask me questions. But still, if you're watching the video, at least I know I got the word out there, even though not too many questions came through. But feel free to ask me any questions. Like I said last night, just go to the comment section and just type it in, and I will answer to the best of my abilities. Because I was getting comments around 4 o'clock in the morning. I was asleep, so I didn't know until I woke up the next day. So I had to kind of go through it. And sometimes I like to always make sure I answer the comments as soon as I see them come through. That way they see me. Well, not see me, but they know I'm there. I answer the question. We going back and forth. I'm answering something. They ask me another question. So, like I said, that's how I'll work it. So if no questions come through again, and if I end the video, just feel free to ask me any questions about anything that I talked about on this video, about Gabriel, any other questions about anything. I will answer to them, and Gabriel will help me through that as well. So, this has been a very good conversation, guys. I just wish there was more questions like how it was last night. That way we can get really into all of this. But, not saying that I don't enjoy standing here waiting for someone. Oh, here we go. See, what is Gabriel here for? Gabriel is here to get the truth, the real truth out. This is what I mentioned this one time before. Like I said, they have been pretty much erased from history. So he is here to put that history back into our lives so that we can learn more about them and everything that we don't know about, which is the reason why I'm here and why I decided to do that deep thought session at the end of every video, because he is, working through me to get that truth out, because like I said, he is not physically here. So I am his messenger to you. Okay? He wants the truth to get out. And I mean the actual truth. Not the truth that our government put together for us, but the actual truth. Because think about it. All these things that's happening, like Bigfoot, Dogman, all these things that we hear about that people have seen, but to us is incredible because we haven't seen it ourselves, or they haven't had any footage on it, or pictures, or whatever. that doesn't mean it ain't real because it actually is real. Why would you hear about it if it ain't real? It's not like it was made up. Nobody made that up. They make it seem that way because they get credit for it and they get paid to make. They get paid to put that information out there, especially after everybody thinks they're the ones that came up with it. Just like the movie about the werewolf. That movie came the very first part of that movie, the very first installment of that movie came out in the 30s. Okay, and think about it. They had to have gotten that idea from something that was actually a factual portion of information. Okay, it had to have come from something. I'm not saying that these people weren't smart enough to come up with the idea, but think about it. One minute you seeing a movie about a werewolf, then all of a sudden somebody somewhere on this planet said that they saw a werewolf creeping about, or they saw something that looked like a werewolf creeping about in the woods. Or you may have seen a movie about other stuff, and all of a sudden you hear someone say that they saw the same thing, in the woods, or it was in the area, or some type of folklore, pops up in a town, and it becomes like that. What do you call that? Not folklore stories, but urban legend. Most urban legends are, I won't say most, but all urban legends are actually true fact, because these creatures, the reason why you can't never see these creatures or haven't seen these creatures your own self, because they come from different levels of this earth. You can't get to these levels. You have to get there through dimensional travel. And these levels are where they come from. They slip in and out of it because some animals do have a human-like intelligence. Now, there's a video on YouTube right now of a dog walking across a highway, but he materialized out of thin air and then just trotted across the street. I'm just saying, what kind of dog do you know has the ability to actually phase in and out through dimensions? Obviously, that dog had the ability. Now, I'm not saying that I believe that video, and I'm not saying that I don't. Let me see. How do you know he's really speaking to you? Okay. How do I know that one of the questions was, how do I know that he's really speaking to me? Well, I've learned in the past that you have to trust what your mind is telling you. Okay? Now, when you put two and two together, now let's just say you are imagining something, or I like to call it pretending, because there really is no such thing as an imagination, because imagination means the same thing as pretending, so I'd rather use that word. But let's just say you're pretending to have a conversation with somebody in your mind. That's what people do. They have, they create thoughts in their head. And so one of your thoughts is you talking to someone, like say, okay, hey, how you doing? Well, you just playing around. Let's just say you're bored and you just strike up a conversation with yourself. That's why people always think they're talking to themselves. So if you know how you do that, but yet you just hear a voice come out of nowhere without you even thinking, that's how I know that he's talking to me. Because what he says to me comes out of nowhere. Like you could just be thinking about something, and all of a sudden you hear a voice in your head say a word or a name. Or say, how you doing? What's going on? Stuff like that. That's how I know. Because the voice just comes out of nowhere. It's like you're not thinking about what you're trying to tell yourself. This is a voice that just says something out of the ordinary. That's how you can tell. That's the difference. If you can realize that you can create a conversation in your head, but while you're creating that conversation in your head, this voice out of nowhere says a name to get your attention, or says something to get your attention. Like, turn your head to the side, or get down, because there may be a bullet about to fly through your window. Okay? Not saying that would be the only reason why you would know that, but if you know that you can create a conversation in your head, then all of a sudden, you sitting down one day watching TV, and all of a sudden, you hear a voice say, how are you? In a booming voice. Or like, I am here. Random words that you would never hear from a regular person or a person that is solid. It just says something out of the blue, like I'm here or I am watching, something like that. That's how I can tell. And it's deep, it's powerful and booming. Like he's talking to me through a bullhorn sometimes. One time when he did that, my ears were ringing for like a few minutes, but it was ringing because it was like I had a tuning fork in my head when he was speaking to me. Okay, keep on keeping on with your channel, brother, even if there are only a few watchers playing and something. Sorry, but I tried to read the whole thing, but it disappears after a couple of seconds, so I keep saying I'm going to take a picture of it when it comes through, but I keep forgetting to do that. But yeah, I'm going to keep on doing what I'm doing because I love doing what I'm doing. See, how did he prove to his mate he was real? He channeled me. He channeled himself through me. That's how he proved it. Because I actually have conversations with his mate. Okay? And so he wanted to basically show her that he was real, knowing that we all had a connection because of what is happening now. I'm helping him get the real truth out there. And because I'm connected to him, he's connected to her, and I'm connected to her as well. So we all one big connection. He channeled himself through me, and we actually talked on the phone. And I said something to her, or he was speaking through me. And he said something that only she would know. A pet name that he gave her. And I said it. And I heard the word in my head, and I could tell he wanted me to say it. So I said it. And I felt a little, weird about that because I'm saying that pet name to her. And I guess I felt a little weird because, it ain't like that. So I'm like, okay, he's in my head telling me to say this, but I'm saying it just felt weird me saying it because I never would have said that to her because she's just my friend, But that's how he was able to prove to his mate that he was real. Okay, the pet name that came out of my mouth that he was speaking to, like I said, he was channeling through me, and by me saying that word and she hearing my voice, that was validation for her that he was real. So yeah, that's how that went down, and it was pretty cool though. So yeah, now I can channel Gabriel as well as Peter, and a lot of things have been happening. Believe you me, things that I have been seeing is making things so much more clearer now. So yeah, but anything that you think isn't real is actually real. Werewolves, Dogman, the Chupacabra, the Jersey Devil, Bigfoot, the number one cryptid creature of all. Let me see. Sorry, I'm sounding like a non-believer. That's not my intentions. Oh, no, that's fine. I mean, you want answers, and I'm trying to give it to you through Gabriel. That's all it is. That's what I wanted you to do. If you had a question and you wanted to understand it more, regardless of it sounding like you don't believe me, I'm expecting that. Because, like I said, the idea is getting the truth out there, the real truth. And the only reason why it would sound like you're not a believer is because you've never known about this information before. That's what makes it sound like that. So don't think that I'm taking it the wrong way. No, I'm not trying to say that I don't believe that. I'm not bothered by that, really, because I expect that to happen. And just like anybody else, they may not believe what I'm saying. I may even lose some subscribers because of that. But more will pour in. That's the whole point. It doesn't matter. I entertained you to a certain point, and I may have gotten a little too weird even for you. But anyway, that's not the point. The point is that don't worry about it. Like I said, I expect that to be a part of what I'm doing. Okay, the truth has to come out. Exactly, the truth has to come out. That's the ultimate point here. The truth, the real truth has to come out. And that's what I'm doing, is whether you believe me or not. But I can guarantee you it is 100% true. Okay? Like I said, I have experienced so much ever since I was a child. So you cannot tell me that this stuff isn't true. Just because you don't believe it, it doesn't mean it ain't true. Just because you haven't seen it, don't mean that it's not true. Okay? You may not have been, it may not be meant for you to see all that stuff just yet, because whoever is doing that knows that you are not ready. But you people are ready, because the history has been there. It's being right in front of your face. You just don't know it because the government put a veil over your eyes with this so-called reality. But it's right in front of our face. It's just like being in the Matrix. That has been a topic on YouTube constantly, that people think that we are living in a Matrix. And it seems that way, but it's just the perception on reality. That's all it is. Your perception on reality is blocked by a bunch of lies, blocked by, fake news, blocked by them wanting to have control. All this stuff that they're doing to make sure we don't end up having to need them anymore. That's got to stop. All that is the reason why you don't really believe it. I'm not saying that that's what your intention is. Let's see. A bunch of distractions. Yeah, there you go. A bunch of distractions. That's what it is. It's a bunch of distractions to keep us from finding out the real truth. It's just like a person that is getting robbed. There's a team that comes up to that person. Like, say, he's distracting you so he can get the money out your back pocket. And then he runs off. And then he runs off too. That's all this stuff is. It's a distraction to keep to distract us from the real truth. But I'm here to tell you now, folks, that is why I am here. Okay? It all started with that interview, and it ended with this. Let's see. Dance if you're real. Oh. Okay. Dance if you're real. I mean, you talking about me? You want me to dance? Or you want Gabriel to dance? What are you trying to say? I'm just trying to understand. You talking about, because I dance. I can tell you right now, Gabriel is real, my friend. I dance. I do the Running Man if I have to. That is my proof. That man is real. Okay? He is real. That is why I am having this discussion with you guys right now. Okay? Shoot, I even do a little Michael Jackson. That was me kicking my leg up, so that's why you couldn't see that. But anyway, like I said, he's definitely real. Okay, so if I gotta dance to let you know he's real, I will do that. Okay, but yeah, reality has been blinded. The true reality you have been blinded from because of what they want you to believe. Why they don't want you to know about this stuff, I don't know. Okay, there's some other things I could tell you, but I gotta wait. He don't want me to tell you about that yet because you're not ready for it. When he tells me that you're ready, I will. Let me see. That hairline crispy. Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, okay. What can I say? I gotta wash my hair. Okay. But yeah. But I don't want to talk about my hair. So I am new here. Oh, well, welcome, Curious Gaming or Serious Gaming. Welcome to my channel. I guarantee you are going to love everything about it because I speak the truth. So I just want to let you know right now, since you're here. Welcome to the circus. Exactly. And it's all about to get a lot worse things. You're going to see the technology. Yeah. So, but yeah, welcome to my channel. And I hope you enjoy all the videos. I got plenty of them in my playlist. So all you got to do, if you want to start from the very beginning, go to my playlist and you'll see a video of me in like a little, like a plaid shirt, like a green plaid shirt. That's one of my very first videos. And just work your way up to the top. Okay? So, welcome once again. I hope you enjoy everything that you hear because all you're going to hear is the truth. No matter how crazy it is going to sound to you, I guarantee you, you're going to love it. Enjoy it. All right? So anyway, back to the matter at hand. Sorry about that, guys. I hit the side button on my phone and it cut off the other video. I apologize. Sorry about that. But anyway, like I said, back to the matter at hand here. Reality. Reality is what it really is. The real question is, are you willing to accept what true reality is? Are you willing to accept it? Because I guarantee you, you may find out some things that you are not ready for because of your belief system and what you've been taught in church. Everything you come to know about is all given to you to block you, to blind you from what is really going on. Why is it that we always got to know about human history? Why? Do I really care if George Washington chopped down a cherry tree? Do I really care if Columbus sailed the ocean blue? No, I wasn't there to see all that. He didn't do nothing for me. I mean, they talk about how they got this show on the History Channel about the men who built America. You got Nikola Tesla, number one, because that's my dude. You got Thomas Edison. Then you got people like J.P. Morgan. All these big moguls. Practically, they built America. Now, they had people to help, like the workers and all that stuff, actually build the stuff, but their money and their drive and power built America. But I don't care. When I started hearing about all this other stuff, that way out there stuff, that seemed more interesting than anything. I'd rather learn more about Earth history than human history. Because, okay, I already heard about this stuff, so now I want to know about the stuff that they didn't never teach us. That's just me. You know, anything that I know about, I know I can't get from a book. Because it ain't going to be there. That kind of stuff was erased from history. Because that type of truth means they don't need us. Or we don't need them. After they found out about that stuff, there goes the control. Because that is their way of controlling us. They got us by the balls because they are keeping the truth from us. Stuff like, okay, they would lose their power. Yeah, they would lose their power. Okay, I've already heard that the presidency can be dismantled or taken over by a civilian if they feel like they aren't doing their job. I literally heard someone say this on the news, or on TV, on a radio show, something like that. You know, but who's to say that that's true? Because if that was the case, it would have happened by now, right? So other people don't know that. Okay? And so, yeah, there ain't really no point in even talking about that. But anyway, the whole point is they would lose their power. Okay? And there are things that we can do that we probably think that we can't because we've never been told that we can do it. We've been kept from that too. Let's just say, like, okay, perfect example, psychics. Okay, people who have claimed to have the ability to levitate things with their minds, telekinesis. All that stuff has been, up to this point, science fiction, or all a part of the imagination. Everybody always dreamed about being a superhero. I'm pretty sure you did too. I always dreamed about being Superman, you know, or just having a superpower. Even if I was able to move things with my mind, like there's a video on YouTube of this guy. He's putting a piece of paper or like a cardboard cutout in the palm of his hand. Then he starts to levitate it with his other hand. And it literally starts to float up. And see, they don't need us much longer. They used us and lied to us all along with it. Yeah, one, two guys. Okay, yeah. But it's like I said before, the whole God word. I like to use the word creator because that is a much more accurate description of what God is. or the creator. He is the creator, or God is the creator. I can't even say he. He's pretty much everything. He's man, woman, child, whatever. But the creator is the creator of all things, life included. So I would rather use that word personally. But yeah, they won't need us much longer because once we know the full truth, the real truth, then we ain't gonna need them. Just like we really don't need them now. Let me see. I see your point. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I'm glad you do. Yeah, like I said, that's why I'm here. So you can see my point. Okay? But like I said, all the stuff that we should know, we don't because they're keeping it from us. It's got to be pretty damn important for them to keep any kind of history from this planet from us. We live here. We've been here since the day we were born. And thus far, with our ancestors and the cavemen, all that stuff. Obviously, they knew about it back then because there was no such thing as a government back in the Stone Age, of course. You know, I even found out that dinosaurs aren't as old as the bones tell us. Now, Gabriel has told me that dinosaurs come from another dimension or another level. Now, the bones that you see that they had dug up, they're not the ones that were here. He didn't say what they were, but he said they didn't go. Some of them stayed behind. Or they left some behind and they ended up dying. But the ones that were here, that was walking around, they were from another dimension. And they were put here by other beings. Okay? I don't know who them other beings were, but when I talk to Gabriel, I'll find out for you guys and I'll let you know on my next video. But like I said, dinosaurs aren't as old as they say. As you said, how can we know the truth if we have always been told a lie? Exactly. How can we know the truth if we've always been told a lie? That is why I'm here, to eradicate that. Okay? Now that Gabriel wants the truth to be told, the ultimate truth, the real truth, we have no need for that. We'll never have to be told a lie again because we know the truth. And it takes people like me. And if you follow in my footsteps, sorry, my tongue keeps jumping. In my footsteps, everybody will know. Even though millions of people, let me see, is there a reason it has to be now? Yes, because people have to be prepared. They have to be prepared for them when they come back. Because they are coming back to put reality back to the way it was. To create that balance, that true balance. And when I say them, I'm talking about the others. People like Gabriel and Peter. They're here to set things right with what once went wrong. Kind of comes from Quantum Leap. Because that's what Scott, that's what Sam Beckett was there to do. To put white, I'm getting tongue-tied, to put right with what once went wrong. That's how they said it. But anyway. But yeah, that's what this is all about. There is something coming. Or not so much something, but they are coming back. I'm just saying there is an event coming. And that event is the rebirth of the reality that we were supposed to be a part of. We were supposed to be taking care of the earth. We were supposed to be doing a lot of things. But we're not. We're not taking care of the earth the way we're supposed to. We're not taking care of nature the way we're supposed to. So that's why some people would think that when these people go into the woods, it could be nature spirits that is doing these things to them. But it's not that. It really isn't. Let me see. I feel as if we're in a movie, Legion. Yeah. Yeah. That's a very good analogy right there because this reality is like a movie. Think about the Matrix. Okay? They are lied to by the means of putting an entire reality in their head while they're sitting in some pod filled with pink goo and a bunch of wires attached to every part of their body. And then when you wake up, you're like, why do my eyes hurt? Because you never used them before. Now, here's something that I experienced a couple of, like, I say about last month. I was at work, and I was talking to my friend, Gabriel's mate, and I told him my eyes are burning. I mean, it was a tolerable burn. And like when, like say if air hits your eyeball and it starts to burn, or if you real tired and your eyes start to kind of burn and all that stuff. It wasn't like that. It was like a light burning, but it was like, oh man, I noticed it. Gabriel told me that my eyes are being changed. And what he meant by that was my eyes are being reset to see reality for what it really is. And I definitely see things a lot differently now. I can look at a human and just see energy. My mind doesn't tell me that person is human or I'm human. Knowing the truth helps you helps your perception look at things in such a different way that it'll almost blow your mind. And my mind has been blown by Gabriel quite a few times, but that is something that will come later as far as me telling you about what that was. But I began to see things differently. Okay? I could walk up to somebody and all I see is energy. Even though they are looking human to me. Eyes, ears, nose, mouth, everything. But my mind is telling me that they're energy. Excuse me. It is not telling me that they're human, that they're black or white or Puerto Rican, Haitian. None of that. It's telling me that it's just energy. Because when you break it down and you just really think about it, without the names and the clothes and all this other stuff that we got, what else is there? Nothing but us as energy. We don't need labels to say, oh, my name is Lamette. We don't need labels to say that I'm a man or you say you a woman. It doesn't matter. None of that matters. All that matters is what we know. All that matters is us knowing what we are, truly, and that's energy. Energy can do so many things, and so can we. Okay? Now, for example, when my grandmother passed away last year, let me see. Okay, it all starts making sense and slowly piece everything together. Yep, exactly. Yep, that's exactly what it is. But when my grandmother passed away last year, she, of course, would have to say goodbye to all of her children and her family, friends, and all that stuff. When she said goodbye to me, let me see. Does his mate experience Gabriel the same way you do, or is he different with her? He's different with her because I would think that the way she feels him as her mate and vice versa would always be different from the way I feel him. I feel his energy. I feel his personality. And I literally can feel his presence, like I can feel a solid figure near me. But with her, it's more on the intimate side because she is connected with him, mind, body, and spirit. Their connection is very strong. And they are as one. As two consciousness in one body. Like I say, this side is him, this side is her. But she can feel him in a way, like say if he's not there, she can still feel him because she's a part of him and he's a part of her. They are one with each other. Their energies merged. So she can feel him in a way that is way different from the way I can feel him. I can tell when he comes through to me from where she is. Okay? Perfect example. I'm at work. I'm working. All of a sudden, I literally see him come down from the air and land like a couple of feet in front of me. Now, of course, only I can see him because I'm the one with the connection with him. But it was like watching Superman come down from the sky and land on the ground. And I'm not saying that's what he would perceive to be Superman. I'm just saying he literally came down from the air and landed on the ground right in front of me. Okay? So my connection with him is different from hers because it's the purpose of the connection that makes it different. Her purpose is to be his mate and for him to be her mate. So naturally, it would be on a much more intimate setting, as far as the connection and how she may feel him. The way I feel him is feeling his personality and his energy. And just knowing that he's there, I could feel his presence. It's just like, let's just say you minding your own business, you sitting down, and all of a sudden you feel someone in behind you. You turn around and they say maybe your brother, your sister, your mother, your daughter, your girlfriend, your wife, whatever. And that's how it is with my connection with him. When I feel him near me, I know he's there. But see, I know his energy and I know his personality. Personality is an energy as well. Okay? If the person is happy, you feel it. Okay? Even when, another perfect example. Let's say you on the phone with somebody. And you would say, you could actually feel, what's this? Do you read the word and go to, no, Okay, see, that's the part I don't like to do. I don't like to get into the whole, religion and church thing. But I don't really go to church. I'm not saying that I have never gone to church, and I do have a Bible, and I do read it. So I do know. I'm not saying I'm an expert in knowing the word, but I don't know the whole book. And I don't think that any one person is meant to really know the whole book because that's a whole different ball game right there. And I honestly really don't want to get into that right now because that's not what this topic is about. I do believe in the Creator. I have said that many times. Okay. But everybody has their own beliefs. I just put it like that. Everybody has their own beliefs as far as religion. Like all these people across the country where they worship totem that has 6 arms, but that does not mean that I don't believe. Okay, I believe in a lot of things because I have seen a lot of things. It's more than just knowing the word or reading the word or going to church and all this stuff. It's bigger than that, guaranteed. Okay, I'm not gonna say I'm religious. I'm not gonna say that I am religious, but I do have beliefs in other things that I know. My tongue keeps jumping. Sorry about that. I do have a belief in things that I know is real. Okay, that's a better way to put it. I have a belief in other things that I know are real. Okay, I know the Creator is real. Okay, now there's scientists talking about the God complex, and they're talking about they want to know what does that all that mean? Okay, because scientists have to break things down so they can understand it in a scientific way. That way they can understand it. It's like picking apart a machine just to see how it works. So they want to pick apart the whole God complex to see how that works, what that's all about. But most scientists don't have that connection. They know how things work and they know how things happen, but they obviously don't believe that the Creator created all that in a way that is easy for you to explain it. But you have to learn how everything works first. Then you can explain it in that way. That's what scientists do. They learn how things work, then they explain it. That's why they talk about how stars are born or how they die or when they die or when they die or how far a star is from where we are. They say it's 30,000 light years away. That means that star is 30,000 years old. Okay? Now, I can tell you, I literally saw a star explode right before my very eyes through my telescope. Now, how far away that star was, I don't know. I'm not a scientist. I'm not an astronomer. I'm not a theoretical physicist or none of that stuff. That's not me. I can just tell you what I hear. But let's just say that star was 30,000 light years away. So that means the star was 30,000 years old. But if I saw the star explode, that means, depending on how far away it was, that star exploded 30,000 years ago. And I'm just now seeing the light from that explosion. It breaks your brain when stuff like that happens. Okay? A star that you see explode or a giver of life explodes. But that giver of life is actually 30,000 light years away from us. So that means 30,000 years ago, that star exploded. But you just now seeing the light from that explosion. Telling you, I just love it when you break it down like that. But even though you know this information, that's not really important. The important thing is, what is the actual truth? Science really can't explain that, because the actual truth is so confusing and so complex, it can't be solved by logical thinking and science. It can't. Science can't explain why a person can just vanish without a trace, because there's no evidence to state that they were even there. But when you hear stories about wormholes that open up, and you hear about dimensional travel, you hear about parallel Earths, where that concept came up as far as why these people are disappearing, I don't know. I just know that whatever happens to a person and they just vanish without a trace, and there's no trace of them anywhere, something made that person disappear. And the only thing I can think of is a wormhole that opened up and sucked it right in. Let's see. Humans have tendency to overcomplicate everything. Yeah, they do have a tendency to overcomplicate everything because they don't understand what something is that they actually saw. So they come up with all these reasons why, or these explanations why these things happen. But they are just, like you said, overcomplicating things or overcompensating because they don't really know what it's all about. You know, and by the time they find out, their minds are so cluttered with all this information, all this stuff got to be dug out and the new stuff got to be put in. And that's what's happening with us right now. That is exactly what's happening with us right now. The government put that kind of scenario in place for us to get so confused that we don't have enough room to take it. We don't have enough room to take in this new information by the time we learn about it. Just like right now. You know, we've been clouded by their own lies because I'm pretty sure they knew that eventually the truth would come out. But by the time they find out, they will be so clogged up with this information, they're not going to believe it. They're not going to believe that everything that we see that is unexplainable is reality. It is a part of our reality. It is our reality. But we just didn't know. I mean, we see UFOs flying in the sky every night, every day, all across the world. But they start saying that, oh, that's just one of the aircraft that the government, built. We have the technology. No, we don't. The reason why we have the technology is because we got it from the graves that they are actually working with at Area 51. That's a meeting place for them. Okay, so they got aliens coming in from all over the galaxy, all over dimensions, meeting up with them. So they give them this information. They give them the ability to build these crafts that can do half of the things that their crafts can do. Okay, so that's why they call it back engineering. But all the UFOs that you see don't mean that it's all done by the government. It's all made by the government. No. Most of them are vehicles that they made. Now, the TRB, you see, what's going on? Unboxed Warehouse. What's going on, buddy? How you doing? Welcome to my show. Welcome to this live chat. But yeah, like I said, oh man, just chilling, just trying to get the word out there, the truth and everything, So if you listen to my video, you know what I'm talking about. And with this live video, you know exactly what I'm talking about too. I'm talking about all truth, everything that's true. But yeah, so like I said, all this stuff that we know about, they're all lies. And by the time you find out the truth, you're gonna be like, "What? You can't. That's impossible. I don't believe that." The only reason why you're saying that is because of all this fake news that the government puts out there. Now, see, they trying to flip the script by talking about the stuff that we're hearing about on the internet is fake news. Good, I love the truth. You can't handle the truth. Yeah. Maybe y'all, but I can handle the truth. That's why I'm here. So yeah, I hope that will change once they hear all this and they start to realize that all this stuff is true. But yeah, Yeah, you funny. But yeah, so they are creating the fake news. They're trying to blame it on the people on the internet because they know that that is a window of the truth. So they create the word fake news so that anything that you hear on YouTube or on social media alone, they want you to think that it's just fake news. But they are the ones that are creating the fake news for us because they know that sooner or later the truth is going to come out. And somebody that has a channel that has the truth on it is going to get it out there to the point where everybody's going to see it. Like me, for instance. Yeah, exactly. Like me. I can tell you right now that that interview that I posted is at 36,000 views. Yeah, that's right. On my channel. Not boasting about it, but I'm just saying. I'm giving you an example. I'm getting the truth out there. My channel is nothing but truth. And yeah, exactly. That's what it has to be done. Yeah, and that's why I'm here. And you will see that once you open up your mind. But when all of this happens, when they come back, let me see. I am going to go look at your bid. Okay, cool. And I guarantee you, you're going to love it. You're really going to love it. And the one before that, you're going to love it too. I talk about 3, 6, and 9 and the what Nikola Tesla meant by that. So make sure you check out that video too. It's a picture of this coffee table on the thing. Well, you're gonna see the caption anyway. But yeah, they're the ones creating this fake news for us because they don't want us to know about the truth. So they're trying to blame it on people on YouTube, making it sound like we're the ones doing it. You want to know why? Because they don't want us to let you guys know that they're lying. Too late, because I'm already doing it. Like I said, with that interview, 36,000 views, bruh. 36,000 views, brother. That was all me. But with the help of her, because she gave us 37,000. I just looked. Oh, my bad. What vid is it? Oh, the interview. Thank you very much. That is impressive. I didn't know it reached 37,000. I appreciate you telling me that. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. See that, guys? 37,000 views for that interview alone. 37,000 because I'm getting the truth out there. And that's why I'm here. I want all the truth to come out. Truth about the people who are having these experiences in national parks. And why is it they don't want them to know the truth? It's because of the money, okay? The currency that is coming into those parks every year. They don't want that to stop. So they're trying to keep the truth about what's happening to these people away from all of the spectators. The campers, the joggers, the hikers, all of them. They want that money to keep coming in. Okay? So, after that, what do? You come to this channel, and you watch this channel. And you listen to me talk about all of the truth. All of the truth. And your head's going to be spinning just like this. Going to be spinning. You're going to get real dizzy and you're going to be like, oh, okay, yeah, I actually got to stop. I'm spinning too much. But that's how you're going to feel when you get all this information in your head. You are going to be like, holy crap, I cannot believe that it's actually real. Now, I can believe it. You see, I am Vessel, just sort by popularity. Okay, I'm trying to get what you just said, but just sort by popularity. I guess you're talking about my videos, you're talking about that. You see, he asking what vid. Oh yeah, the vid, if you're talking about the interview, it'll say like anonymous interview, and it's gonna be a green it's gonna be a green thumbnail, like I think of a foresty area, and you're gonna see the interview of I guess of the person who I just sort by popularity, and it comes up first. Oh, right, okay, I got you. But yeah, that video, like I said, when you get to it, it's gonna talk about the I'll check it out. Thanks. All right, cool. Yeah, you'll see it. You'll see it. You can't miss it. But like I said, it's got a thumbnail of a forest, and it's talking about a person who had a experience in Brown Mountain National Park. And go to it, and you'll hear everything that she says. Now, I'm just letting you know right now, I am still fresh at this. I'm an amateur when it comes to the interviews. My very first one was of Catherine Van Alst. So, and then came this one. So I won't say that. Some people have said I was talking too much, or I wouldn't give her a chance to talk, but she was getting a chance to say everything. Insane Disappearances, anonymous interview with a national park survivor. Yeah, there you go. Right, national park survivor. That's how that's the title. So when you look at that, and you're gonna be like, wow, she really did have that experience. Because see, a lot of people that I've been noticing that they are looking at the videos before they look at the interview. So I'm asking everyone who finds the videos that she recorded, look at her interview first before you look at that, so you won't be like saying, okay, this is fake. I hear that all the time, but I don't knock that because that's their opinion. I understand that, and I'm not mad. But like I said, check out the interview first. So National Park Survivor, that's part of the title. You find that, you look at it, you understand what I be saying. Let's see, her interview is what gave me the courage to do my interview. Exactly. Yeah, so that is my point to all of this. I want that interview to give all of you the courage. You see, I am giving away a brand new Samsung tablet. Check out later. Got fun. Okay. But yeah, this is for everybody out there, and I say this every single time. I want that interview video to give everyone the courage to come forward with your experience, whether it's a UFO experience, even a ghost experience. I want to talk about all paranormals, okay, at this point, now that I'm getting up there. 37,000 views, bro. Happy about that. But anyway, I want that interview to give everyone the incentive to come to me and talk about their experiences, whether you was in a national park or if you were just having some weird experience where you saw something. It doesn't matter. Ghosts, aliens, UFO experience, maybe you was abducted. I want to talk about that too if you was abducted, and you were. Okay, but if you went into a national park, maybe Crater Lake, maybe Yosemite, because I did hear I remember someone sent a comment saying they were going to Yosemite. But I haven't heard from him because he said he was going there for some big tree that was really old. But like I said, I haven't heard from him yet. So hopefully he will come forward. If you hear this video, contact me. My email is in the description box. Okay. So like I said, for any one of you out there, I hope that interview will give you the incentive and the courage. Beacon for and one of my views is a beacon for everything, right? And yeah, so her interview too, which is anonymous. It has a big old white screen with a black head of a female with a question mark in the center. That's her interview. So she had a pretty crazy experience herself all her life. So like I say, anybody else that feels like they want to get the word out there about what happened to them, feel free to contact me at Insane Disappearances. Like I said, my email is in the description box below. And if you don't get there in time, it's lowercase MECKDEE at Comcast.net. Okay? So if you have an experience, you want to finally talk about it after all these years, you know where to find me. And I will put your information out there. It will stay anonymous if you want to. If you want me to use your name, that's fine too. I will do that. But if you don't, totally anonymous. Okay? And just be honest with the viewers. Don't sugarcoat it. Don't make it sound even more incredible than it already is. I want to know the exact truth. Okay? So, that's all I'm saying. But, guys, it is going on 1 hour and 14 minutes. Let me see. An orb just came through the window behind you. Say what? whoa, I'm definitely gonna have to look at that video after this is done. I didn't even notice it. I'm gonna tell you, I've actually had an experience with an orb quite a few times since I've been living in my apartment. You know, but I remember I was sitting on that sofa right about there, right here. Or was it? Wait, let me see. There, I was sitting right there. Let's see. It was small. Okay. Well, either way, I still want to see that, man. That's gonna be crazy. But I was sitting right there. And an orb literally came through my head and came out through my forehead and went this way and curved and went over there by this part right here. So I'm right here, sitting down, and as you can see, it's like, let's just say this is my head and I'm looking that way. The orb came through my forehead and went that way and curved and went over there. It was crazy, you know, and I literally saw it as it came down into my view. And I was like, what the? And it went that way and disappeared. So yeah, man, it happens a lot in here, and I just don't really notice it. I think someone did tell me one time before that they saw a ball of light over my head once when I was over there doing a video. I saw it in the comment page, and I never did look. It was kind of sparkly. Oh, okay. I mean, if it came through, it wasn't Gabriel. It might have been something else. I don't know what though. But yeah, so, but guys, it is getting down to the wire. It's 1:15. It's an hour and 15 minutes. If there's no more questions, I'm going to go ahead on and end this because, you know, I've been standing up for an hour. Not saying I'm not used to because I come from Brooklyn, so that's just what we used to. Standing up on the bus, standing up at the bus stop, standing up at the train station, standing up inside the train. You know, we did a lot of standing for years. That's just part of how it is in New York. We stand a lot. Even in baseball games, he's standing up. So, but yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and end this. I just want to tell you that I had a great time answering your questions. I had a great time talking to you about the truth, the real truth, and I guarantee you, I still got more coming. And I'm telling you, the other information is going to blow your mind. Just like that new emoji they got on your phone, where the top of his head exploded and you got smoke coming out, like that big explosion when they dropped that atom bomb out there in the desert, just like that. But anyway, but yeah, had a great time. And like I said, any further questions that you may have, all you have to do is go to the description box below this video. I mean, not the description box, but the comment section. Ask me any question you want. I will answer them the best I can. Now, if I do get any questions, like when I'm asleep, like say around 4 o'clock in the morning maybe, or I may still be awake, I don't know. But if I do get any that I don't answer right away when they first come through, I will get to you when I wake up. Just like this morning when I saw some comments, I answered them. But I like to answer my comments right when I get them. But a lot of times I don't catch them until it's like maybe 15 minutes later. They may be off the computer, maybe eating with their family. I don't know. But I like to catch it right there when I first see it. So if I don't, you know, don't feel bad. I'm gonna get to you because I like to try to answer all my comments, you know, from all my viewers and my fans. So without further ado, guys, just like any other video that I do, I'm going to end it in my famous way. Aloha, mahalo, and hui ho. Peace out, brother. Shoots.